Hi everyone. Today we are going to do the next part number 9, in which we will learn specifically about area vector and then flux and Gauss law derivation. We'll see. Next part we'll do the derivation of Gauss law, related numericals on that. So that we'll see. So this part especially we'll see about area vector. Area is a scalar quantity or vector quantity. If it is a vector quantity, then what will be the direction of area for a closed area, for an enclosed area, and then for an open area, what will be the direction of that? And the second thing which we are going to discuss here is about what is flux, and then we'll see what Gauss law and related numericals in this topic we are going to do. Fine. So now if you'll see what is first, what is area. Now most of the student is having doubt, because I have from last 5-6 years I am teaching. So like generally if you'll ask a normal student, like one who knows physics but not that good, if you'll ask them then they will say that area is a scalar quantity. So but we area is what? A vector quantity. Even some of, maybe like out of 100, no, 80 of the student will say that area is a scalar quantity, but area is actually what? Vector quantity. Now let's see, like if it is a vector quantity, then it should have some direction, right? It should have a particular direction. Suppose if you are considering this mobile as a area direction, suppose this we took a area, 2D we are considering, right? So we can say towards you or towards me. Towards you or towards me is the direction of what? Area vector. Towards you or towards me is the direction of what? Area vector. It means what? Area vector is always perpendicular to the surface. Area vector is always, area direction will always be perpendicular to the context, perpendicular to the surface. If you are considering anything perpendicular to that is what? Area direction. Okay, second thing is what? If it is 2D, then it is perpendicular to the surface. It can be inward, it can be outward. Finished. Now if you are considering 3D surface, then the direction of area will always be outward as well as what? Perpendicular. Remember, if it is a cube, then the direction will only be what? Let's take cylinder, then always be like this. Area direction is going to be like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. It cannot be like this. It cannot be inward direction. It cannot be what? Inward direction. So for 2D object, it can be, we are considering this is a 2D, so one is what? Towards you, one is what? Towards me. So we can say for 2D object, the direction of area element is going to be perpendicular to the surface, and for 3D object, the direction of area element is going to be what? Perpendicular as well as what? Outward, as well as what? Outward, as well as what? Outward. Fine. So these we'll see in this topic, and then we'll see what about what? Electric flux. Let's write whatever we learned. So we can say area is a vector quantity. Area is a vector quantity. Fine, we learned something new today. Vector quantity. Fine. Suppose if you'll consider, guys, a cap, then we can consider what? A cap is vector a by mod of a. Then a cap multiplied with mod of a is equal to what? A vector. So that we can write. Correct. Now direction of area, as I told before also, then direction of area, suppose this is a, this is b, this is c, and this is d, and we are considering like this. So it is going to be, see, in this direction positive, in this direction is what? Negative. So we can say obviously a, the plane is in xy plane, right? So perpendicular to that is what? Zx, that is for sure, right? So we can say now that what? A BA cross DA is going, the direction is going to be what? Minus of k cap. Up now you guys will say minus of k cap. If like this clockwise, then positive. If like this anti-clockwise, then it is what? Negative. So minus of k cap. So for 2D object, it will always be perpendicular to the object, as I put here. Now if you'll take a 3D object, 3D object in the sense, let's consider 3D object, right? Not, it is not a ring, or not a not a ring, or not a sphere. What is the disk? It is a sphere we can consider. So now we can say, now here is what? Angle is most important here. It will be what? Always outward. It will always be what? Outward. It will be always what? Outward, as well as what? It will be outward as well as perpendicular, guys. That is important. So now the direction here, if you will see, direction perpendicular, direction perpendicular, direction what? Perpendicular. So those things we should know. So area direction will always be what? Perpendicular, perpendicular for 3D object, and it will only be what? Outward direction. That's it about what? Area vector. Now we are going to do electric flux. Electric flux. Let's see, like electric flux, if you will see how we'll define electric flux. Suppose this is the window right back. Air wants to come inside. The first condition, air should be outside. Obvious. If there is no air, then of course no air can come inside, right? Second thing is what? The window should be open. Obvious, right? Anyone can see. Now the third thing is what? Suppose this is the window and we are changing the direction of the window. See, like this, if you will change, then what will happen? See, now the direction is like this. Then we can say if you are changing the direction, then what will happen? It was like before like this, and then you are changing like this. Then ultimately the area direction is decreasing. Like one time will come when the area will hit, like air will hit here and will go. Air will hit here and will go. What you are supposed to understand here, that if air wants to come, like air wants to come inside the room, the first condition is outside should be air. 100% correct, right? Second thing is what? Apart from that, air should be there outside, and the second part is what here? The area should be what? Open, right? Big area should be there of the window, as well as it should be open. Third thing is what? At what angle area and area direction and the direction of electric flux are there? It should be parallel. Let's see why. As we know, the direction of area is always perpendicular, and air is coming like this. So of course, direction of area and the direction of area and the air direction will be perpendicular, will be parallel. See, suppose this is a window, right? So we can say air is coming like this, so it will go like this, and the area direction is what? See, both are what? Parallel. So we can say it will become what? Parallel. If it is not parallel, remember the condition now. If it is not parallel, then we are supposed to take that component which is parallel to the area direction, which is parallel. We are supposed to, like, if electric field is acting at an angle of theta, it is coming at an angle of theta, then we are supposed to do component of electric field which is parallel to what? Area direction. If area is in some direction, then we are supposed to take that area direction which is perpendicular to that. So these two things you should keep in mind. So now if you will see, ultimately whatever the air wants to come inside the room, then it depends upon three things. One is what? Direction of area, direction of, like, outside should be air. Second thing is what? Area should be more. Third thing is what? The angle between the area and the direct area, and the angle between the area and then the air. So these three things. So ultimately electric flux, we are not going to learn about air and all. So we are going to learn about what? Total number of field lines passing through an area normal to the surface area. It means electric field lines should be perpendicular to area direction. If it is not perpendicular, then we are supposed to take that component of electric field which is parallel to the surface area. Okay, let's see. So total number of field lines passing through an area normal to the surface area. Repeat, total number of field lines passing through an area normal to the surface area is what? Electric field. Fine. So now we can say here is what? It depends upon E, it depends upon area, it depends upon angle between E and A. E, area between the angle between E and A. If it is not perpendicular, electric field direction, no, if we are considering direction, then it is not perpendicular. Electric field direction and area direction is not perpendicular, then we are supposed to take that component of area, that component of electric field which is what? Parallel to the electric field. Let's see. So electric flux, now we are going to do. So we can say E dot A actually. Electric flux is denoted by phi. E dot A. Electric field is a vector quantity. Area is also a vector quantity. E mod of A cos theta. Right? Actually, how it came into existence when there was no angle. If both are perpendicular to each other, right? Then there is no problem at all. When the directions, both the directions are parallel, area direction and electric field direction, no problem. But the problem comes is what? Suppose air is passing like this, passing in this cylinder, and then we consider the direction of area element is this. Now there is a problem. Guys, the problem is electric field is passing like this, right? Now area direction I took like this, so it is making some angle here, right? So now we can say this will be what? E cos theta, A cos theta, we can say E cos theta, right? And this will be what? E sin theta. Which direction you will take? You are supposed to take that direction which is parallel to what? Electric field. So this you have to take. That's why we took A cos theta here. That's it. Hope so you guys got it. A direction. Now the unit of electric flux, if you will see, then what? Newton per coulomb into what? Meter square. Newton per coulomb into what? Meter square. That is what? Electric flux. Hope so everybody got it properly. Hope so everyone understood what is area element. Okay. So here now we are going to see that find electric flux. So if you want to find electric flux here, then how we can find electric flux is flux is EA cos theta, right? Flux is E dot EA cos theta dot, we already wrote. So EA cos theta. If you're writing EA cos theta, then how we can find here flux? Let's think. See, the angle which is given between, not between the area direction and the electric field direction. Electric field direction is given, but it is not between the area direction. Area direction, if you will see properly, this is the area direction, right? If that is the area direction, then we can say yes, it is wrong. The direction which we choose, which is given, the angle cos 30, we are not supposed to take. So we'll have to do component of that. So we can say this is going to be E cos theta, and this is going to be what? E sin theta, right? So we are supposed to take what? E cos, anyway it is parallel, so if flux is equal to what? E sin theta, right? And then what? A, right, area direction, E cos theta, and then A into what? Cos 0. Cos 0 is what? 1. So we can say cos 30 here. So we can say A E sin 30. This is going to be cos 0 is what? Sorry, 1. So it will multiply, nothing will happen. Then what? E A sin 30 is what? 1 by 2. So by 2. That is what we should do. So we are supposed to check always the angle between the electric field, direction of electric field and area, not not the angle, any angle we will take. Okay. Let's see, we want to find flux here for this. Now what? A cylinder is there, a curved surface area 1, 2, and then what? A length is L. Electric field is given in this direction, E is equal to E naught I cap. Find flux through 1 and 2 and the curved surface area and net flux. Let's see guys, first for 1, if you will find, so area direction for a closed loop, we know that area direction will always be perpendicular to the surface area, perpendicular to the surface area. So we can say the flux area direction will be in this direction, right? So we can say electric field is going in this direction. Angle is how much? 180, right? So directly we can say flux 1 E A cos 180. So E naught, right? E is E naught I cap. So I cap means in this direction. So E naught area is, let's consider area only, or pi r square, whatever r is given, right? Let's consider r. Pi r square into what? Cos 180, which is -1. So flux 1 due to the surface 1 we got. flux 2 if you will find, guys, then we can say E naught, right? E is what? E naught into what? Area. Area is pi r square. Cos 0 is what? 1. So we can say E naught pi r square, right? That is what? Flux 2. Due to a curved surface, if you will see, guys, area direction is going to be what? Perpendicular to what? Electric field. So flux is going to be flux 3 E A cos 90. The whole thing is going to be what? 0. So flux 3 is going to be what? 0. Net flux, if you are asking, then net flux is going to be phi 1 plus what? Phi 2 plus what? Phi 3. So we can say this is what? Pi minus pi r square, and this is plus pi r square. This is what? 0. So the whole thing is going to be what? Net flux is going to be 0. So one thing you should consider from here is what? Net flux through a closed loop is what? 0. Net flux through a closed loop is what? Net flux through a closed loop is always 0. So that is what we learned. Hope so everybody got it. And so we got what is flux and the numericals based on that. Now we are going to do what? Gauss law. So now we are going to do the next topic for related to this is what? Gauss law. Gauss law, if you see properly, is same like electric flux only. That also gives about what? Gauss law also tells about electric flux, and then electric flux also tells about electric flux only. Then what is the difference here is, if you want to find electric field for an infinite line charge, then it is problem to find directly. Gauss law gives an idea to find easily electric field due to an infinite line charge. Let's see how. Suppose if this is a line charge, positive line charge, so electric field will be outside, right? And it is infinite, minus infinite to plus infinite. So now if you want to find electric flux for this, then what we'll have to do, there is no other way, there is no way to find till now whatever we learned, because electric flux is equal to kq by r square. We don't have r, problem. But now think about of that, if you will take a cylinder inside this, so it will go inside this. Now see, it is inside this. It will be inside this, then it is closed now. Yes, this object, this is a virtual object, this is also infinite, plus infinite to minus infinite. So we can say due to this positive charge, electric field lines will come out, right? Electric field lines will what? Come out. If electric field lines will come out, then what will happen? You'll get R from here to R, from here to R. Then flux what? We will find for a closed surface here. This formula, if you will see Gauss law, is especially we are finding flux inside a closed surface, inside a closed surface. So this flux, Gauss law states net charge in a closed surface multiplied by epsilon naught. Net charge by a closed surface multiplied by what? Epsilon naught. So it is used to find the electric field for an infinite object, for a closed object. Inside a closed object, if you want to find electric flux, there we can find what? Electric flux. Fine. Next thing is what? As I told that this is a cylinder, right? We consider for line charge. So we can say Gaussian surface for any object where you are for any object where you are applying Gauss law. So you'll have to choose a surface. That surface is known as what? Gaussian surface. So for a line charge, it will be what? Cylinder. For a point charge, it will be what? Sphere. For a sheet, again it will be a sphere. So those things we are going to discuss. Let's see, if you see here Gauss law. So Gauss law is the electric flux through a closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon times the charge enclosed by the surface. The electric flux through a closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed by the surface. Fine. Now we'll see what? Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface, if you will see that Gaussian surface, we say is what, for a line charge, it will be what, cylinder. For a point charge, it will be sphere. For a sheet, it will be what, again, cylinder. There's three things we should know. Electric flux, total electric flux is what, through a closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed by the surface. We will consider those charges which is inside the surface. That's it. Let's see the derivation of this. We'll see application and all in the next class. Derivation, if you'll see, let's take a cylinder, let's take a point charge. As we know, for a point charge, what is going to be the Gaussian surface is point charge itself, right? So let's consider now, here is what, a small area, right? A small area, like that is also a sphere only. Now consider r distance from here. We know this is a positive charge, so electric field is going to be in which direction? Electric field direction of charge is going to be in this direction. Let's take, that is what, r cap, electric field direction. Now area direction for the small point, that is going to be also what, outward. That is also going to be what, outward. Let's consider with another color. Let's take the blue. It is going to be in this direction. That is what, delta S vector. Let's take n cap. Hope so you guys understood. Now see guys, if you are doing derivation, then what you are supposed to find, that you write first. We want to find flux. Flux is equal to E dot delta S, right? Now the problem is we don't have E, we don't have delta S. So we can say due to this charge, let's take this charge is what, Q. So let's find first E. E is equal to what, KQ by R square. That's it, right? KQ by R square. Fine. Flux, then delta S we don't know. Delta S vector we learned before also. Delta S vector is what? Delta S vector is mod of delta S into what, n cap, or the cap thingy, right? So mod of, got it? So this is what we got, area and electric field. Flux now. Flux is equal to E dot delta S. So E is what, KQ by R square. Achha, direction is what, R cap. KQ by R square into what, R cap. Delta S vector by into what, n cap. So we can say KQ by R square delta S. Okay, let's write K is what guys, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. And then what, into Q into what, by what, R square, right? KQ by R square. Fine. And then what, delta S, mod of delta S vector, delta S of what, sphere. So 4 pi R square, right? 4 pi R square. And now the direction, if you see, R dot n cap. Guys, R and n is in the same direction. If it is in the same direction, the directly dot product of that is what, R n cos 0. R dot n is going to be what, R dot n is going to be what, 1. In school and all, no, they will not teach you this thing. So try to understand properly here. R dot n is going to be what, 1 here. So now we can say 4 pi R square, 4 pi R square. R dot n becomes what, 1. So Q by epsilon naught into what, 1. That is equal to what, flux. So net flux through a closed surface is what, flux is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Flux is equal to what, Q by epsilon naught. So in this lecture we learnt about area element. Area is a vector quantity. Direction is what, always in this lecture we learned about what, first electric area element. Area direction is always, area is a vector quantity, so its direction is always perpendicular, either inward or what, outward. Inward, outward, both. If it is 3D, then what will happen? Only outward, that to what? Perpendicular. Then we had learned about flux. Flux is equal to EA cos theta. Flux depends upon three things: electric field, area, and the angle between area and electric field. Then we learned Gauss law. Gauss law is what? Net charge enclosed by in a closed surface multiplied by 1 by epsilon naught. It helps somewhere really well. So those things we'll discuss in the next class. And what we learned about Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface is what here? Which Gaussian surface, for a line charge, the Gaussian surface is going to be what? Which will enclose the line charge properly, that is what? Cylinder. For a point charge, it is what? Sphere. For a sheet, again, it is what? Sphere. We'll see next class the uses of what? Gauss law, and then how it helps in solving numericals and derivation. Those things we'll see in the next class. Till here, you guys revise, we'll see those things.